Thousand in Ears rooters have done their work, peeling the blithe martyrs down off St. Mary's and holding a bonfire for them over the village green. Even in repose, my mother's character seems to shape every plane and furrow of that dry face like a maker's stamp on a horrid little pat of butter. Her Christian name is Anne, but she is called the Beldam West. It suits her because it sounds wide and wicked. The sound of it is like the name of some dusty place in the book that God might drop big meteors upon. Beldam. Belle is a French word, meaning beautiful, which my mother is not, though they say she was once. And dam, like damned, which I suppose it is not my place right to speculate. I take her apart now, while a repose affords me the opportunity, and consider her piece by piece. Her nose is long and set in a crooked shape, having been broken. It was broken at least once, to my knowledge, 4 years ago, by a most wonderful right hook from Goody Rawbod, as the two of them quarrelled in the herb garden on a late spring afternoon. I do not remember what the substance of their falling out was on that occasion, but I do remember the hooting of the men gathered at the fence to watch. I remember the blow was struck. I remember how my mother tottered back into a rosemary bush with a hand clapped over her face, blood leaking sticky between her fingers, and raised a sweet fragrance as she tumbled down onto her cules amid the little blue flowers. I can barely keep myself from laughing aloud when I smell rosemary, to this very day. Goody Rawbod is dead, of course, as people who wrong my mother have a way of ending up. See how the smell and look of her leads me to other things, other places. Or else my understanding of other things and other places comes through the smell and look of her. And that is what it is to have a mother. But no more digressions. My mother's cheeks are hollowed out, the skin stretched over them tight and brown. The unwary blade of sunshine from the window whitens the down on her chin and her temple, and refines the thin lines age has lain at the corners of her eyes and around her mouth, like a cat's whiskers. Her forehead is pink with sunburn. The skin around her neck is loose, as though those folds are easing into their good fortune at having been spared proximity to the cruel eyes and sharp tongue that so disfavour her among our neighbours. A neck like a fat hog's wattles, baggy and discoloured and appalling. The mouth is the worst thing. She holds her thin lips slightly open as she sleeps, and they are raw and dry at the corners, where a sediment has gathered. Looking in through this red opening, you can perceive her mouth's interior satin, and see how her teeth are stained from chewing tobacco, how the wet root of her tongue jostles as though she is dreaming a conversation, or more likely, a row. Here is my very unchristian thought. I wish I had something horrible to hand to put into her mouth. I imagine I am lowering a wriggling mouse between her lips by its pink tail, then clamping my hand down over it. Or no, a jar of hot horse's piss, a fistful of rabbit droppings, blood, pig's blood, hot from the slice. My mother's eyes open, and she says my name quietly. Rebecca? Beck? It is I. She mutters something I do not hear, and presses her hand to her temple. She groans. "Oh, never get old, Rebecca," she says. "Mind me, girl. I am all filled up with aches and pains."